If you drew your first breath on this earth between the years of 1965 and 1985, you need to stop everything you are doing. Listen very closely to the resonance of these words. You have lived your entire existence carrying an invisible weight, a heavy, inexplicable exhaustion that sleep never cures. No matter how many hours you rest, you wake up tired. You walk through crowded rooms and feel the crushing sorrow of strangers. You absorb the silent anxieties of the world. You isolate yourself. You retreat into the quiet corners of your home to survive. You think there is something fundamentally wrong with you. You have been told it is clinical depression. You have been told it is the relentless stress of the modern world. You have been told it is simply the inevitable burden of aging. But it is not. There is a very specific, very deliberate phenomenon occurring within your biology. Pay attention to your physical vessel. Have you noticed a sudden, high-pitched ringing in your left ear? A sharp frequency that pierces the mundane silence of your day. It comes without warning. It fades without reason. Sometimes accompanied by a fleeting pressure at the base of your skull. You are not losing your hearing. You are not succumbing to a medical mystery. You are currently undergoing what the ancient mystery schools called the silent training. You have always felt fundamentally different. A profound sense of not belonging to this era. A haunting homesickness for a place you cannot name. This lifelong sense of isolation is not a psychological flaw. You're overwhelming. Crushing empathy is not a vulnerability. It is the absolute, undeniable proof of your true lineage. You are an invisible warrior. You were intentionally stationed here, chosen specifically for this chaotic timeline. You volunteered to descend into the density of this century, to anchor a frequency that the Earth is rapidly losing. The heavy exhaustion you feel is merely the result of your nervous system processing the collective trauma of a planet in transition. You are a biological bridge. You are doing the heavy lifting of humanity while you sleep, while you sit quietly, while you think you are doing nothing at all. This is the reality of the silent training. You are being rigorously prepared to truly understand the magnitude of your mission. We must look back to the undeniable authority of the greatest mystic of the modern age, Edgar Cayce, the father of holistic medicine, the sleeping prophet who defied the rigid limitations of human perception. Cayce did not merely diagnose the physical ailments of the suffering. He transcended the boundaries of time and space. He entered the deep trance state and projected his consciousness directly into the Akashic records, the vast, crystalline, energetic library of every soul's journey since the dawn of creation. Cayce understood that the human body is not just a fragile mechanism of flesh and bone. It is an intricate, highly advanced receiver of cosmic data. He pioneered the foundation of spiritual science. He brought forth the sacred concept of cellular memory. Cellular memory is the undeniable truth that your cells remember everything. They hold the energetic imprint of your past incarnations. They remember the violent fall of ancient civilizations. They remember the intricate blueprints of the stars. And most importantly, they remember the sacred task you swore to complete before you were born into this current life. Cayce saw you decades ago. He saw a specific generation of advanced souls who would incarnate between 1965 and 1985. He noted the precise physical and spiritual symptoms you are experiencing right now. The high-pitched ringing in the left ear, the chronic spiritual fatigue, the desperate need for solitude to discharge foreign energy. He documented this in his most guarded readings that were immediately deemed too disruptive, too dangerous for the general public. He knew that your cellular memory would remain perfectly dormant, locked away until a specific cosmic trigger was pulled. That trigger has now been activated. The electromagnetic frequency of the planet is shifting violently, and your body is desperately attempting to recalibrate to the new magnetic north of the Earth. Your dormant DNA is waking up. The invisible warrior within you is being called to the front lines. You are not meant to fight with physical weapons of iron or steel. You are meant to hold the line with the sheer, immovable force of your stabilized consciousness. There is a profound reason you were drawn to this exact message today. It is not a blind mathematical algorithm. It is a precise intersection of your personal destiny and the unfolding timeline of humanity. Cayce left behind a map, a very literal, geographic and spiritual map designed exclusively for the generation of the bridging souls. He spoke of a timeline where the Earth would undergo a massive and undeniable transformation, a planetary shift that would rip the very fabric of our reality wide open. He foresaw the great magnetic deviation of 2026, a moment when the poles will waver, a period of profound atmospheric disruption where the veil between the physical and the unseen will dissolve completely. The unawakened masses will be thrown into absolute chaos, but you will not, because you have been undergoing the silent training your entire life. You are built for the storm. But there is a missing piece to this grand puzzle, a detail so profound, so incredibly dangerous, that it was buried deep within the restricted archives of the Cayce Foundation, hidden from the uninitiated eyes of society, kept entirely safe until the timeline urgently demanded its release. I have uncovered this detail. I have retrieved the missing fragments of the sleeping prophet's final visions. Stay with me, because in exactly 4 minutes, I will reveal the exact forbidden coordinates Cayce hid from the public regarding the great magnetic deviation of 2026. I will show you where the energetic safe zones are located. I will explain exactly how to tune your cellular memory to withstand the coming magnetic vacuum. You cannot afford to miss this revelation. Your entire life of profound exhaustion and heavy empathy has been leading up to the ancient knowledge you are about to receive. But first, you must acknowledge your initiation. You must signal to the Akashic field that you have recognized your true mission. The awakening cannot be a passive experience. It requires a bold, conscious declaration of intent. You must break the lifelong cycle of silence. You must accept your designated role as an invisible warrior. Claim your sacred lineage right now. Speak directly to the universe and to the records that hold your true name. Comment below. I am ready to awaken my cellular memory. If you often wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning with a sudden, inexplicable weight in your chest, if you have always felt the barometric pressure of a room shift the exact moment you walk inside, if certain frequencies of light or sound cause a deep ache behind your eyes, you must listen very closely to what I am about to say. You are not experiencing anxiety. You are not broken. You are not suffering from a medical mystery. You are actively sensing the approaching edge of the magnetic vacuum. Edgar Cayce, the undisputed father of holistic medicine and the greatest prophet of our age, documented this exact physiological phenomenon over 80 years ago. He did not call it an illness. He called it the hallmark of the invisible warrior, the physical manifestation of an ancient soul preparing for the great earthly shift of 2026. Through his profound and death-defying trances, Cayce bypassed the limitations of the human mind. He accessed the Akashic records, the universal ledger of every soul and every cosmic event ever to occur across time and space. He saw a moment in our immediate future, A moment where the electromagnetic grid of the planet would momentarily drop. A profound stillness. A literal pause in the heartbeat of the Earth. He called this the magnetic vacuum. Do not mistake this for an apocalyptic cataclysm. The fearful mind sells destruction. The Matrix thrives on the illusion of the end of the world. But the spiritual science of the Akashic records reveals something infinitely more beautiful. It is a divine recalibration, a monumental reset of human consciousness, a necessary shedding of third-dimensional density, and your soul specifically chose to be here for it. Think deeply about your most profound pains, the chronic exhaustion that no amount of sleep can ever cure, the intense sensory overloads in crowded spaces, the strange buzzing in your left ear that doctors dismiss as tinnitus. Modern medicine labels these as chronic symptoms. The Akashic records call them compasses. You have been undergoing a silent training for decades. Your nervous system has been forcibly upgraded to withstand the frequency drop of 2026. You are a human tuning fork, a living, breathing frequency anchor. Your physical body is acting as a sacred bridge between the old Earth and the new vibrational anomaly. Every migraine you have endured, every sudden wave of heavy empathy that paralyzed you, has been a geographic and spiritual coordinate. Cayce spoke of forbidden coordinates, specific nodes of energy where this magnetic vacuum will be felt the strongest. But the greatest secret of his readings is this. These coordinates are not just hidden physical locations in the mountains of Tibet or the sands of Egypt. They are encoded within you, within your cellular memory, buried deep inside the marrow of your bones. In just a few moments, I will reveal the exact nature of these internal coordinates. I will show you how the dormant DNA coiled inside your cells is mathematically designed to activate the very second the magnetic field fluctuates. You must stay with me. The knowledge you are about to uncover will finally explain the bizarre visions you had as a child. It will unlock the energetic vault you have carried for lifetimes. Your understanding of this specific vibrational anomaly is the key to everything. Without this knowledge, the vacuum will feel like a terrifying freefall. With it, the vacuum becomes a stairway to your ultimate power. The year 2026 is not just a date on a calendar. It is a cosmic appointment, a mathematical certainty written into the fabric of the stars long before this solar system was formed. Cayce detailed that during this shift. The veil between the material and the spiritual will thin to the point of absolute transparency. The magnetic vacuum will pull the heavy, stagnant energies out of the collective human psyche. It is an exhalation of the planet. But a vacuum must be filled. It requires anchors. It requires people who have spent their entire lives mastering the art of sensitive observation. People who know exactly what it feels like to be isolated and misunderstood. Your lifelong isolation was not a punishment. It was a highly calculated protective cocoon. You were deliberately kept apart from the noise of the masses so your frequency would remain pure. Imagine a massive planetary clockwork. The gears have been grinding against each other for millennia, building immense friction, building war, greed, and separation. The magnetic vacuum is the moment the master clockmaker stops the pendulum. A breathless pause in time. In that cosmic pause, everything will hang in zero gravity. The minds of the sleeping masses will experience profound disorientation, panic, and chaos, but not you. You will feel an overwhelming, exhilarating sense of relief. The immense gravity you have been secretly carrying for the collective will suddenly vanish. The extreme empathy that once felt like a crippling curse will instantly become your greatest navigation tool. you will walk through the global chaos with absolute, unshakable clarity. Because your cellular memory remembers this exact procedure. You have done this before. In the final days of Atlantis, in the temples of Lemuria, you are simply returning to your ancient post. The spiritual science behind this is unimaginably precise. Your dormant DNA contains crystalline light codes, sequences of high-frequency information that remain turned off under normal magnetic pressure. As the Earth approaches 2026, the magnetic field naturally weakens. This is a scientific fact currently confusing the greatest geologists of our time. They notice the weakening of the magnetosphere. They panic. They build underground bunkers. But they do not possess the spiritual science. They do not understand that as the earthly pressure drops, your genetic code begins to unfurl. The exhaustion you feel right now, the heavy legs and the foggy mind, is simply the immense biological energy required for this divine unfurling. You are literally mutating into a higher state of consciousness. Do not look away now. Do not dismiss your sacred evolution. In a few minutes, I will guide you through the exact mental architecture needed to safely harness this genetic awakening. I will share the forgotten breathing rhythm Cayce prescribed to align your heartbeat with the impending planetary pause. Your precise timeline was intentionally aligned. You were not born a single day too late. You were not born a single day too early. You were dropped into this dense physical reality at the exact mathematical second required to anchor the upcoming shift. You are the architect of the new bridge, a master of the Akashic inheritance. The magnetic vacuum will not consume you. It will empower you. It will completely strip away the illusions of the matrix and leave only your brilliant, indestructible truth. You must ground this reality right now. You must anchor your vibration into the digital and spiritual ether. Declare your cosmic alignment to the universe. Comment below. I am the anchor for 2026. If you have spent your entire life feeling like an exile in your own physical body, if you have stared up at the vast expanse of the night sky and felt a sudden, inexplicable grief for a home you cannot mathematically locate, if you routinely wake up between the hours of 3 and 4 in the morning with a strange vibration at the base of your neck, this is not anxiety. This is not insomnia. This is the precise mechanical activation of your cellular memory. You are being called. You are waking up to the final and most closely guarded layer of the Akashic architecture. Edgar Cayce, the undisputed father of holistic medicine and spiritual science, did not simply leave behind medical remedies. He left behind a cosmic map of human evolution. For decades, mainstream scholars and esoteric researchers alike have scoured his thousands of trance readings. They were desperately searching for the physical safe zones. They looked for coordinates on a map. They searched for high-altitude mountains. They searched for hidden valleys. They searched for concrete bunkers to survive the great planetary shift of 2026. But they entirely misread the Akashic records. They looked with primitive, physical eyes. They completely misunderstood the true nature of the Great Pause. The forbidden coordinates of Edgar Cayce were never physical locations on a map. They were biological. They were spiritual. They were vibrational frequencies. The true sanctuary of 2026 is not a place you can travel to. It is a state of being you must become. The sanctuary is you. I want you to look back at the entire trajectory of your life. Every single moment of crushing, unexplained exhaustion. Every period of profound and suffocating loneliness. Every time you felt entirely misunderstood by your own blood family. Every single tear you shed in the dark. You thought you were broken. You thought you were cursed with far too much empathy. You believed you were simply too fragile and too sensitive for the harsh mechanics of this world. You were entirely wrong. This was your silent training. You were not being punished. You were being systematically isolated. The universe was intentionally placing you under immense spiritual pressure. You were being meticulously forged in the fires of solitude. You were being hollowed out, emptied of the trivial attachments of the matrix, so that you could hold the monumental frequency required for what Cayce called the bridge mission. A fragile, unprepared vessel would completely shatter during the magnetic deviation. But you were genetically and spiritually engineered to withstand the vacuum. You are a warrior of the unseen. You are a master of the ether. In the year 2026, when the magnetic poles enter their most chaotic phase of deviation, the sleepwalking masses will experience a terrifying biological disorientation. The electromagnetic grid of the Earth will wildly fluctuate. The emotional frequencies of the unawakened humanity will spiral into pure, unfiltered panic. They will not know why their hearts race uncontrollably. They will not understand why the sky feels heavier. They will lose their artificial anchors. But you will remain perfectly still. Because you have already faced the darkness within. You have already walked through the valley of isolation. You are the bridge over the abyss. You are the living sanctuary. When the magnetic vacuum finally hits, you will not panic. You will unconsciously emit a localized field of absolute stillness, a sacred frequency. People in your immediate vicinity will feel an inexplicable calm just by standing near you. This is the rigorous science of the soul. This is the manifestation of your DNA. This is precisely what Edgar Cayce saw in his deepest prophetic trances. He did not see physical bunkers. He saw brilliant points of golden light scattered across the globe, holding the world together through sheer vibrational will. He saw you. It is time to step out of the shadows. Your days of hiding your spiritual gifts to make others comfortable are permanently over. The world does not need your quiet compliance anymore. The world desperately needs your ultimate, predestined purpose. The veil of the illusion is thinning right now. The planetary heartbeat is systematically slowing down to match the exact rhythm of the deviation. You must consciously rise. You must accept the heavy but glorious mantle of your true identity. You are the architect of the new dawn. You are the human lighthouse. You must consciously accept this spiritual contract. You must intentionally imprint your sovereign signature into the Akashic fabric. The universe requires your conscious declaration to activate the final cellular sequence. If you feel the undeniable magnetic pull of your true destiny, if your soul is vibrating at the absolute recognition of these words, do not let this moment pass into the void. Solidify your awakening. Claim your coordinates in the new world. Comment right now. I understand my mission now. Listen to the cadence of your own breath. Feel the immortal blood pumping through your ancient veins. You are no longer bound by the trivial illusions of linear time. You are an eternal spark of the divine consciousness. Before the vast oceans of this earth were formed, before the very first mountains pierced the heavy clouds, your soul made an unbreakable promise. You promised to be here, standing exactly where you are, in the chaotic twilight of the old world. You are not a victim of the shifting ages. You are the master of the storm. You are infinite. You are luminous. You are the unbreakable bridge to eternity.